Hello and welcome to The Circle. In the intricate dance between ambition and inertia, we often find ourselves facing tasks that seem unsurmountable, goals that appear too lofty, and challenges that trigger the instinct to retreat. However, what if the key to overcoming these mental barriers lies in the artful act of trickery, specifically tricking your own brain? Our cognitive landscape is a complex terrain, influenced by a multitude of factors such as motivation, perception, and ingrained habits. Through a careful examination of psychological principles, we will delve into the ways in which the human brain can be persuaded, motivated, and ultimately tricked into taking on tasks that initially appear formidable. You'll likely find no issue with indulging in video games or scrolling through social media on your phone. I'm confident you can dedicate a solid 2 hours, if not more, effortlessly concentrating on these activities. Now, consider the challenge of devoting just half an hour to studying. Quite daunting, isn't it? What about dedicating an additional hour to your side business? Not as enticing, it seems. Despite the logical understanding that endeavors like studying, exercising, or building a business promise greater long-term benefits, the allure of watching TV, playing video games, or perusing social media persists. One might argue that the distinction lies in the ease of one activity compared to the effort required by the other. However, some individuals seamlessly integrate challenging tasks like studying, exercising, or working on side projects into their routine. This leads to the question: what motivates certain people to readily tackle difficult tasks, and is there a way to make these tasks seem less daunting? To unravel this mystery, we turn our attention to a crucial brain neurotransmitter, dopamine. While often regarded as a pleasure molecule, dopamine is more accurately described as a driving force behind desire, providing the motivation to engage in various activities. To underscore the potency of dopamine, consider experiments conducted on rats by neuroscientists. By stimulating the rats' reward system with electrodes whenever they pulled a lever, researchers induced a relentless craving, leading the rats to repeatedly engage in the lever-pulling activity for hours, forsaking even basic needs like eating or sleeping. Conversely, when dopamine release in the rat's reward center was blocked, they became lethargic, demonstrating a lack of motivation even for essential activities like getting a drink of water. This highlights the pivotal role dopamine plays in motivating actions, not just thirst or hunger. While these rat experiments might appear extreme, similar effects of dopamine can be observed in human behavior. Our brains prioritize activities based on the anticipated dopamine release. Insufficient dopamine results in diminished motivation, while substantial releases motivate repeated engagement. Behaviors triggering dopamine release are those associated with potential rewards, and the brain refrains from releasing dopamine when immediate rewards are absent. For instance, the brain releases dopamine before consuming comfort food, anticipating a positive feeling even if the actual experience may not align. This mechanism holds true for various activities, and individuals are inadvertently flooding their brains with unnaturally high dopamine levels in today's digital era. High dopamine behaviors include scrolling through social media, playing video games, and consuming internet pornography. The anticipation of rewards, such as receiving a text or notification, keeps individuals compulsively checking their phones, akin to rats seeking a new dopamine hit. Before we continue, I'll give you some time to subscribe to the channel and give it a big thumbs up. If you enjoyed this video so far and found the content interesting and insightful, please leave your comments below. We'd love hearing from you. Now let's get back to the video. The concern arises when this constant exposure to high dopamine activities disrupts the body's homeostasis, the balance of internal conditions. Like adapting to temperature changes, the body also develops tolerance, requiring higher amounts of stimuli to achieve the same effect. Dopamine tolerance poses a significant challenge as activities with lower dopamine releases become less appealing, leading to decreased motivation to engage in them. This phenomenon is why individuals often prefer high dopamine activities like playing video games over activities with lower dopamine releases, such as studying or working on a business. This pattern is mirrored in drug addicts, where attempts to quit are hindered by the inability to find satisfaction in ordinary low dopamine releasing activities. The question arises: can this be prevented? The answer lies in performing a dopamine detox. This involves setting aside a day to abstain from highly stimulating activities, allowing dopamine receptors to recover. It's essential to note that those struggling with drug addiction should seek professional help due to potential withdrawal symptoms. During the detox day, one aims to minimize sources of external pleasure, refraining from internet and technology use, music, masturbation, and junk food consumption. While this may seem intense, the objective is to embrace boredom and allow dopamine receptors to reset. Permitted activities include walking, meditation, self-reflection on life and goals, and jotting down ideas on paper. For those hesitant to embrace a full-scale detox, a smaller version can be implemented by refraining from one high dopamine behavior each week. This approach fosters boredom, propelling individuals to engage in other, less stimulating activities that they might otherwise postpone. The effectiveness of dopamine detox lies in creating a stark contrast between the absence of usual pleasures and the inherent appeal of less satisfying activities. By temporarily depriving oneself of the usual pleasures, the brain begins to find satisfaction in activities that would typically be deemed uninteresting. If a full detox seems extreme, a more moderate approach involves periodic abstinence from high dopamine behaviors, gradually reconditioning the brain's response to various stimuli. Personalizing the detox strategy, such as ratios of low to high dopamine activities, is essential. For instance, rewarding oneself with high dopamine activities only after completing low dopamine tasks proves effective. This approach ensures motivation for challenging tasks remaining intact, preventing the dampening effect of immediate indulgence in high dopamine behaviors. Finding a balance that works for the individual is key to successfully implementing a sustainable dopamine detox. In conclusion, making difficult tasks feel more manageable is achievable by understanding and managing dopamine levels. Limiting exposure to high dopamine activities, along with intermittent detoxing, can resensitize the brain to the satisfaction derived from less stimulating tasks. While we are all dopamine addicts to some extent, the choice lies in deciding where to source our dopamine, either from activities that don't benefit us, from pursuits aligned with our long-term goals. Implementing a dopamine detox can be a transformative step toward regaining motivation and finding fulfillment in everyday, low dopamine activities. If you found this insight valuable, I would appreciate a gentle tap on the like button. Your support aids my channel and allowing the YouTube algorithm to showcase this content to a wider audience, helping more people embark on the journey of self-improvement. Thank you for watching, and I hope this video contributes to making you better than yesterday.